Hi everybody, welcome to Goodwood Museum and Gardens. Everything is magical here in December. The camellias are blooming, the Christmas trees are decorated, fruit is dripping from the grapefruit trees. There is such life happening here. December is the perfect time to visit. I'm Linda Schuyler Ford, your storyteller. Because it is December and the camellias are blooming and we are in this beautiful Victorian setting, I thought I'd share a Victorian Christmas story with you. Now this is unusual because most Victorian Christmas stories are sad and maudlin. Think Dickens' Christmas Carol. But I found this story, which is very different. It's by William Dean Howells and it's called Christmas Every Day. Once there was a little girl who loved Christmas. Now we all like Christmas, but this girl loved Christmas and she wished that it would be Christmas every single day of the year. Well, round about Thanksgiving, she was thinking about that very hard and decided to do something about it. And so she sent a postcard to the Christmas fairy asking the Christmas fairy to make it Christmas every day. She went to the Christmas fairy's house a couple times. Each time her housekeeper answered the door and said, "Oh, the Christmas fairy can't possibly come to the door right now. Run along, child, run along." Or, "Oh, the Christmas fairy is at tea with her other fairy friends. She cannot see you right now. Just go home." Then the little girl thought she would do this the grown-up way. So she got a piece of her mother's fancy writing paper and wrote a letter in ink. She signed it, put it in an envelope, sealed it with sealing wax, and sent it to the Christmas fairy in the mail. Well, and then she got busy with her own real that year Christmas, helping her mother cook and shop and clean and wrap. She and her siblings each had their own little Christmas tree in their room, each with their own decorations, and hers were little tiny carousel horses painted so beautifully and trimmed in gold. She put that up, and the next thing you knew, it was Christmas Day and she was the first to wake up. She ran downstairs to the library where the stockings always hung in the fireplace, and she felt them, and sure enough, she could tell by the shape that she and her brothers and sisters all got oranges and hard candies, you know, the kind with the picture of the little flower in the middle, and she could feel candy canes. And then she felt her parents' stockings, and they too got oranges and coal. She could feel those hard lumps of coal that Santa always left for her parents, and it was funny. And then her brothers and sisters came rushing in, and they all went into the living room. And there the tree was ablaze, and piled under it were presents, and there were more presents on the table, and they began to open them, tearing off the paper, and they got rocking horses and dolls and carriages. They got ice skates and an easel and paint sets and writing paper and fancy pens. Anything you could imagine, they got as gifts. And as they opened their gifts, they gobbled down the candy with their stockings so that the little girl could not bear to eat their special pancake breakfast that morning. But she choked them down. And then they all went ice skating on the pond and got home in time for a big dinner of turkey and stuffing, cranberries, mashed potatoes, green beans, turnips, and sweet potatoes, pie for dessert. And she ate more than her stomach could hold. And then they gathered up in baskets presents that they meant to deliver to friends and neighbors, and walked through town delivering those, and got back home exhausted and cross, tired. So they each just ate a little soup for supper and went to bed. The little girl didn't sleep well that night, and she didn't sleep long. because early in the morning, her brothers and sisters charged into her room saying, "Get up! Merry Christmas! It's Christmas! Get up!" And the little girl didn't understand. She thought, yes. Oh my goodness. And she went downstairs, and there were their stockings stuffed with oranges and those little hard candies with flowers in the center, and candy canes and coal in their parents' stocking. And then their parents were up, and her father said, "I've had the strangest dream. I dreamt that it was already Christmas." They went into the living room, and there were presents everywhere, and they tore off the paper while eating all the candy in their stockings. And there, oh my goodness, rocking horses and dolls and baby carriages, and on the table more, there were easels and paint sets and writing paper and fancy pens and ice skates. They went ice skating on the pond, though they were a little tired, and then came home to a big dinner of turkey and stuffing and cranberries and potatoes and green beans and turnips and sweet potatoes. And they ate until their stomachs hurt. And then they loaded presents into baskets and went and delivered them to their friends and family in town. And the next morning, the same thing. And the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. After a while, the little girl's stomach hurt so much. Her teeth ached from all the candy. Her legs hurt from all the ice skating. But it went on week after week after week. Every day was Christmas. Instead of delivering presents to each other in that cheerful, surprise kind of way, why, people started throwing presents over the fence next door, hoping nobody noticed where they came from. Turkey went up to $25 a pound, and only the richest people could afford the turkeys. And when even they had bought and eaten all the turkeys, people started eating chicken or squabs or Cornish game hens. After a while, pigeons started disappearing from the park. They went ice skating, and they delivered presents, and they fell into bed so tired and grumpy. The little girl felt guilty, but she couldn't tell anybody what she had done. She was too afraid. Finally, she wrote a letter to the Christmas fairy asking that Christmas just be once a year again. And she sent it into the mail, and then got up and opened the stockings and ate candy and went skating and ate dinner and opened presents and delivered things. Christmas. A few days later, she woke up at a normal time, and nobody came in to wake her, and none of her brothers and sisters were dancing around. She went downstairs, and there was nothing in the library but the fireplace and books. In the living room, sofas, chairs, no tree, no presents. Finally, the Christmas fairy had granted the little girl's wish, and she knew that Christmas once a year was plenty, thank you very much. But that night, as she was falling asleep, she started to think about, wouldn't it be fun to have Halloween a little bit more often? How do you think that would work? Would you want Christmas every day? Would you want some other holiday every day? I wonder what makes Christmas the most special for you, that you would want to have that every day. Maybe talk about that with your family. Maybe some of those things you can do every day without it being Christmas every day. Whatever you're celebrating this winter, I wish you the very best, and the best of good health, and all of the things that make you happy into the new year. See you soon.